Y'all niggas turn on y'all cameras too.
Hey, welcome. This is the Ace of Spades. I know nobody's probably in here because the link hasn't went out yet. But you are now tuned into the Ace of Spades podcast, man. So usually on this day at this time, we do the Queen of Spades. However, we ran into a little bit of technical difficulties with that. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna have a kick it spot since we did have some time already allotted for um this time. So we're just gonna kind of, just talk about some things. I do have some videos queued up that from previous episodes that we didn't get a chance to get into. So we can definitely touch on some of those things. But let me welcome in the group real quick. Uh we got Steve G in the building. We got hold on, where's my soundboard? Let me get the claps going here, man. I need some claps. Where my claps at? Can I get some claps? No? Okay. So we got Steve G in the building. We got Queen D in the building. We got Dizzle in the building, and we got K. AKA, I don't care what you call me, long as you call me baby. So we are back in full effect, and you like that, did you, Dizzle?
Yeah.
And it liked you right back. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, let's see, man. How are you doing today, Dizzle? Since I can clearly hear you over here chuckling. How you doing today, man?
I'm just trying to survive this heat, man.
All
You know
right.
what I'm saying? It's hot
I
as
hear
hell.
that. I hear that. And Queen D, man, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's a nice day, sunny outside. Everything's good.
All right. And K Emil, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Oh man, not too bad, not too bad. I feel bad that I didn't get to touch on the things that you brought to the table, man. But we're gonna definitely get into it next time because I definitely think it was some interesting topics over there, interesting clips. Diz Riz, man, Mr. Diz Riz himself, Steve G, good sir. How are you doing today, man?
Man, I'm good, man. How about yourself, brother?
Oh man, I'm just living life, man. I'm surrounded by great people. I'm surrounded by greatness. Uh, and so I can't be any better. You know what I'm saying? Can't be any better. So is there anything that's on you guys' plate that you guys want to get off your chest today? All right, everybody's happy. Okay. Sounds good. No, no worries. No, hey man, I love it. I'm loving it, man. As long as everybody's in good spirits, that's all that matters. I'm trying to look around and see what kind of stuff do I have going on here. Um
Hey, I got something real quick I want to say to the
Oh
audience.
shit.
talk
I
to
got
me.
something to say. For these I'm trying to keep it politically correct. For these silent viewers, hey, why don't you comment? Why don't you like? Why don't you say something? Even dislike the shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you here, you wasting your time watching the whole video. Why don't you say something and hit the like button? Just smash that motherfucker. It don't hurt. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna go to the hospital. Ain't nobody gonna come see you. Ain't nobody gonna pull up. Just hit the like button and move on. That's it.
Hey
And
man,
it's free 99.
hey, get it off your chest, man. All right, you heard it, man. Shit, fuck. I gotta let the AK off on that one. Okay, shit. God damn. All right, you heard him say what he said. All right. So yeah, do not be afraid to come in and talk to us. It is all good. Now I know we're probably not going to get a lot of people on here right now because I'm sure a lot of people are like, wait a minute, it's not Sunday. What's going on here? Gucci Prophet in the building, man. What it do, baby? Yeah, you're like, wait a minute, it's not Sunday. What are you guys doing live? Like I said, man, we had some extra time to kill, so we're going to touch on some things. Actually, you know what? I got some things from both shows that we can touch on that we didn't get a chance to get into because we got some people that are long-winded, so we don't get to go through everything. We don't get to touch on everything, but you know what I'm saying. So you're definitely left some things here for us. Let me see. I think whoa. Was that the ladies that was talking about? No, that was us that was talking about feminism, right? Oh, it was. Ooh, we. Let's see.
No, I think we touched on it too.
Yeah, I think y'all touched on femininity.
Femininity, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, you know what? I think y'all did. I think y'all dang near ate up everything. You know what? Let's take a look. I'm gonna take a look at this video and see what it's talking about. Give me one quick second. Which one is it? I don't know. You know what? Let me see if we did this one.
The more educated and financially stable a woman is, the least likely she is dateable to most men. A lot of the times we attach, our experiences to our accolades. And I think in real life, a lot of the issues that some of us have as Black women, and I can speak from a place of experience, isn't the fact that we're successful. It's the fact that sometimes our energy and our attitude with that success be sorry, but it's the truth. A lot of the times it's, I don't need this, I don't need that, I'm an independent, I get my own. That's cool, baby, get your own. They love that in real life, but they still want to feel like, oh, daddy, I love you. Daddy, I need you. Daddy, I appreciate you. They still want to feel like that. So I think that sometimes we be so quick to say, they mad because I'm getting money. Mad because I got a degree. They not mad at that. They want that. They want a partner. They mad at the energy that comes with that.
Woo, shit.
Mr. Dizzle, are we mad at the energy?
Yeah, the energy is definitely energy, and like she said, it's cool to have all those accomplishments, but you know what I'm saying, you gotta pump your brakes a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't, if you're in a relationship, you shouldn't feel more than just because, you know what I'm saying? I mean, be proud of what you did and what you accomplished, but to make somebody feel less than is not cool.
Yeah, I agree with that, Dizzle. And if you don't notice, man, this is the ace of spades that you was talking about they wanted to see. So we got it here because we got Queen D in the building and K in the building to help us out with this. So Queen D, what do you think about what she just said there?
I agree with her. Like, women that have higher positions a lot of times come with that attitude. Then it becomes competition between the sexes, and them talking down to men and stuff, and that's what is just vulgarish, and that's not what the men are looking for.
So do you think that do you think it's what is it a gain of, like, let's say masculine energy for certain?
It's definitely masculine energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I feel like Kay, it's almost like where does it come from, right? So if because I think this affects people even in relationships, right? So let's say our marriages, even, right? So you're in there, you dudes earning, but let the table switch while you even in a relationship or marriage. I think sometimes they will look at them and be like, you ain't doing shit. So the attitude even has the ability to change there. But what do you think about what she said?
I mean, I think she's absolutely right. I feel like we are too vocal, too loud, and feel like that we have to prove ourselves all the time. A person that actually has those accomplishments move in silence because their actions speak louder than their words. So being vocal about what you have is more like bragging, and it gets on people's nerves after a while,
Okay.
to the point to where people don't care.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, shoot, I hear that, Kate. And what says you, Steve, man? Because basically, it's I hear a lady saying that, hey, man, it's not your accomplishment, it's your attitude that comes with the accomplishment. Do you think that that's true?
Yes. I was too busy mesmerized by the Regina Hall lookalike that was speaking on the, on my monitor.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think everything that she said was straight up. That was straight up facts right there. That was big facts. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody on the panel just said, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much masculine energy coming from females nowadays, which is a turnoff to men. You know what I'm saying? We need a little bit more, well, a lot more estrogen, you know what I'm saying, coming from the females. And not to say that, you know what I'm saying, we need females to be weak so we can take advantage of them, but we need a woman that we can love, you know what I'm saying, love, and that's soft. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to touch nothing that's rough. You know what I'm saying? We do enough lifting bricks and goddamn building shit and working all day with our hands. We don't want to come home to something that's rough. You know what I'm saying? We want it smooth and elegant. And I think that the softness is elegant, you know what I'm saying? Versus, you know what I'm saying, too much masculine energy. So I ain't going for it.
I definitely agree with you, man. I would sum it up with just saying we need balance, because it seems like it's something is off balance, man, and it's always a struggle to gain that. Because I agree with Kay as well, man. I think it was either Kay or Queen talking about the competition. And it's like, dang, like, why can't we both just win? So I want to ask the ladies here, since we do have ladies here, and I know that I don't know if you fit the bill or not. I would imagine you don't, but you may, I believe that you speak woman. So what what makes that switch happen? Or what makes that come out of them? I'll go with you, Queen D, first.
Like for me, I know. Well, I was never that. I was never that braggish on things, but I did tap into my masculinity one point in life, and that was from being a single mom and just having to take care of home and work and pay all the bills and everything myself. But um, I think, I don't know, like when in those situations, like we said earlier, it's just competition, and I think they just want to seem superior or equal to the man in that situation. I guess they don't feel like them tapping into their femininity and doing other things are enough, I guess. So yeah, I was never braggish or anything like that. I had to learn to tap out of my masculinity, but it took a man to come along and say, I got this, and I put my trust in him and stuff, and that balance works out.
Okay. And same thing to you, Kay. Where does this type of mentality come from? Why does this happen? Because like me and Dizzle, right? Let's say me and Dizzle, we play let's say Call of Duty, right? We're competitive at Call of Duty, right? And that's just our thing. At what we do. I'm the better player. He's not. So he's forever in competition with me. So the thing is, though, is why. Oh shit! Did I say that out loud? I said that out loud. Didn't I? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that out loud. I apologize. I said that out loud. But inside of a relationship that doesn't benefit anything, why? Where does that come from?
I think it's ego. You feel like you accomplished something, so your ego is bigger than what you actually are. You know, and once a person have in their head, I did this on my own, you know, without anybody's help, without anybody's support. So it just, go to a whole different level, and they start believing and becoming delusional about what they need and what they don't need.
Okay.
Hey, but what if you ain't got the numbers to back up that ego? You know what I'm saying?
That's my point.
What is
That's
that
my
for?
whole point. If you really actually was doing all that, it would, your actions and, what I'm saying, will speak louder than what your words do. Because I feel like a person that have to talk about what their accomplishments are not actually accomplishing anything.
They're doing
They're
it for a
just,
show.
exactly.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
feel like
Go
I
ahead,
feel
Dylan.
like people like that, when growing up, they didn't get the love and admiration from their parents, or or validation from whoever was important in their life. So now they gotta overachieve just to get the what I'm saying, just to get the admiration and from their peers. So
That
yeah.
was something that's interesting that you said that, because I was going to tap into that. Do you think that a two-parent household affects that within a woman? Does that have to do anything with a woman, or would she still be in competition if she makes more, or still
Well,
have the attitude?
Who are
I
you
mean,
asking?
I don't think the two parent household. I don't think that plays a factor. But whoever is the lead person in their life growing up, like if you just if you come home, you got honor roll, or you got straight A's, and they're just like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But you say, oh, good job, and I'm proud of you. Keep it up. You know what I'm saying? They're not. They're gonna feel more inclined to just keep pushing forward without having to. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm.
they already know they're gonna get it.
Okay. What about you, Queen D? Do you think that the makeup of the home matters, or do you agree with Dizzle that it's just could be, your environment?
I think the makeup of the home could be beneficial, but like Dizzle said earlier, um, it boils down to the parents because you can have a two-parent home and they're both busy or whatever and not paying attention to the kids, giving them that type of attention that they're seeking. And yeah, it just depends on giving your child enough attention and stuff or speaking to them about that. Like we talk to our kids about not wanting to be validated and seeking attention from everyone all the time because in this generation everyone is seeking attention. They're killing for attention. They're doing all that type of crazy stuff for attention and clout. So you just got to talk to your kids, let them know they're loved and all that type of stuff.
Okay. Well, if your children see the dynamic between a man and a woman, and the woman is, not downing or dogging the man, do you think that could beneficially affect the child?
Yeah, it has to be the right dynamic though. It can't just be two parent household and then they're not running it properly. It has to be done the right way for them to see that example and go off of that.
Okay, okay. What says you, Kay? So, in what Queen D says, if it's a good, um, or no, just what do you think in general? Do you think that the parent dynamic matters, the structure of the home matters, or are you a little bit on the side of Dizzle where he says it's more environmental?
I'm with Queen D because in order for the household to work, everybody has to play their role. You can't both try to play the same role and expect for it to be a good family dynamic. You know, there are
Mhm.
certain things that, each party has to play in order for things to work.
Okay, okay. And what says you, Steve? Man, do you think that it's a parental thing of them seeing, how men and women interact around each other, or do you think that it's an environmental thing? What do you think?
I think it's a little bit of both. And the reason why I say that is because of my situation. You know what I'm saying? My daughter is in Chicago. She's never lived with me, you know what I'm saying? Well, she stayed with me for maybe like 3 to 6 months at a time, you know what I'm saying? But with me in the army, me being in the army, moving to different duty stations, going overseas, all that shit, she couldn't stay because it wasn't a stable household, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? But with her, it's what I'm saying, it's all me. You know what I'm saying? She respects her mom, but what I've seen, I never seen this before. I think me and you was discussing this when I was in Chicago, that when she saw my face, and she ain't seen me in like 6 months, she saw my face, regardless she was going on prom, I had a prom dress, makeup and shit. She ran, she damn near tripped over her fucking her dress to get daddy attention, to give daddy a hug. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, her siblings was there, you know what I'm saying, but it was like the whole world stopped, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying, when she seen my face, you know what I'm saying. And I had to pull it to the side. It was like, look, nigga, it's more people here than just me, you know what I'm saying, just be respectful, da da da, because she was even giving her mom a hard time. And that goes to show that, regardless of her mother picked up got a new man or whatever, or even got married, I will always be that voice in her ear. She wouldn't listen to that. She would probably respect him, but not listen to him. What my daddy say is goes, so to speak. And that, what I'm saying, that's why I say it's a little 50-50 in regards to that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Can I
yeah,
add to that?
please.
That's why I can't stress enough that fathers are so important because us as females, we crave that masculine energy from a young age, whether it's from our fathers and then how then that leads up into us finding husbands and getting married and stuff. So the father role is definitely important in both uh boys and girls. Also, my mom used to say one hand washes the other, and you can't clap. It takes two hands to clap. So it's all about balance and teamwork.
Okay. So, Dizzle, man, I want to ask you, in regards to, um, how, it seems like when women are put, in a position where they're financially, um, well off, and somehow this attitude is developed. What is the remedy for this? How do we stop that from happening, or can we?
Stop giving the ass so much praise, because all you're doing is being an adult. You know what I'm saying? You go work your 9 to 5, and or you get it. Go to college and you work your 9 to 5. It's called being an adult. You pay your own bills. That's called being an adult.
Okay,
Quit.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get to hide behind independent. The word independent. No, you're being a contributing member of society. So why do you get praise for doing that when everybody else is doing it?
Okay. I thought I said Diz Riz. My bad. Sorry, I was starting Diz Riz, but we'll start at the top. Queen D. What is the solution to this? I mean, is there any solution to it? How do we prevent the women from becoming so competitive, or the attitude of, I'm better than, I guess. How does this is this preventable?
I kind of agree with Dizzle and just letting them know, like, that's not. I mean, that is good, but you're more than that. You're not just a degree or a big house or a car, and you do need a man. You can't say you have all of these things so you don't need a man. At the end of the day, the creator made man for woman and woman for man. That's why you're here. So you do need a man.
Yeah, yeah, and I think somebody said the parts fit together so nicely.
Yeah.
So, yes, one was made for the other, and the other was made for the yes.
That's Gooch with his scientific.
You feel me? You feel me? Matter of fact, speaking of Gooch, he said that's because that's all they have. Okay, that's a heavy one. That's a heavy one right there. Okay. Kay, what says you what is there a solution to this? How do we prevent our women from gaining this type of attitude? Because I think a lot of men would love, I know a lot of men would love to have a lot of these women, but their attitude seems to drive them away.
Oh, I know I'm hate saying this,
Uh-oh.
but I agree with this one 100%.
Oh shit,
Am I
man.
that? Am I that bad? Damn.
Now, this was coming with
No,
the truth tonight.
no, but you know what? He's absolutely right. Why be praised for something that a grown adult has to do every day? You know, in that case, we should praise these men out here for the things that they do. You know what I'm saying? They, just if you give a man a compliment, in my experience, it's like a shocker, and it shouldn't even be like that.
Okay,
But
that's
I mean, it's just gotten out of hand though with the women though. Like, oh, I need validation all the time. I need to be validated all the time. No, I'm not gonna validate you for something that a grown adult's supposed to do.
amen to that. I definitely hear that, and you just touched on my next topic I'm gonna talk about. Diz Riz, man. What do you think about this, man? Is there any cure to this? Is there any way to prevent this from happening? Because, like I said, I think it's a lot of lovely ladies that end up adopting this lifestyle, this mental um stance, and I don't think it's beneficial, man. But what says you?
Just relating again back to my experience, I have three daughters, you know what I'm saying? And three women in my life, you know what I'm saying? My wife, of course, my mother, when she talks to me, knock on wood. And my baby mama, my daughter's mother, I have to talk to her. We have to have some type of foundation, regardless of, what I'm saying, we're not together or whatever. It's still a solid foundation. I need to know what's going on with my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I think that's where the foundation for mine comes into play. But say for instance, if it was only one daughter, you know what I'm saying, I would still treat her the same as I treat mine now. I treat all four of them equally. Well, all three girls. Well, I treat all my kids equally, but especially the girls. One doesn't get what the other one doesn't have. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the age difference. You know what I'm saying? And I commend them. You know what I'm saying? Hit the honor roll, whatever, whatever. But I'm always that overachiever. You know what I'm saying? Due to like in my immediate family growing up, I was the first one to get a associate's degree. You know what I'm saying? And that's what my father pushed for me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he talked me out of being a police officer, but I still went on and finished my criminal justice, right? And then he ended up getting his. And then later on, I said I wasn't gonna go back to school, all this shit. Then me and E linked up, and then we went and go ahead and graduated. You know what I'm saying? Got a bachelor's. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? So I set the standard for all of my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't telling them to go be a doctor, but if you got the credentials, you want to do it, do it. You know what I'm saying? But my level stops at a bachelor's. You get your bachelor's, then we could talk the shit. You know what I'm saying? But until then, don't say shit. Keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? Then you would get kudos then. You know what I'm saying? But congratulations on your graduation, this and that, whatever. Here's a gift. You know what I'm saying? Because most kids don't live to see 18, let alone graduate high school. You know what I'm saying? So there's your gift. Keep grinding. And I leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I conduct my shit.
I bet that. So, um, this is another topic, man. I'm gonna start with you, Desiree. Um, uh, uh, are are most men emotionally neglected?
Um, I would say I wouldn't say that's a tough one, bro. Because you know what I'm saying, when like Dizzle said earlier, when you doing what you got to do as a husband, you know what I'm saying, running a household and actually, being an alpha, you know what I'm saying, being able to take, you know what I'm saying, questions from the you know what I'm saying, from the panel, from your wife and stuff like that, or coming up with suggestions and things of that nature. I don't think that should involve emotion because because of women and men are created on different platforms, so to speak. Where we try not to, as men, we try not to let our emotions take over, and we just knock that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what I'm saying, if it's fucked up or not, we're still gonna try to conquer it, get it done. You know what I'm saying? Get it out the way so we can move on to the next project. You know what I'm saying? But on the female aspect, they thrive on emotions. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe. You know what I'm saying? That they thrive on emotions. Some are masculine, but you can still hurt a female by saying certain things that would tickle her emotions. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get through to a man, you know what I'm saying, without that testosterone flaring up and you fighting. You know what I'm saying? Um, but to answer your question, I don't think men are emotionally, you know what I'm saying, deal with. I can't remember what you said on the question, but I don't think men are emotionally deprived. I don't think that men are emotionally deprived, but every once in a while, every now and again, we do expect like, man, damn, that was dope. I appreciate you, or you know what I'm saying, I appreciate what you did. You know what I'm saying? Because in a sense, looking at building a family, if I wasn't here, you wouldn't have this shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel.
All right, bet. So I've asked this question before, Kay, and you brought it back to my attention when you were speaking about a man feeling overly excited about getting a compliment, because we rarely get those things, right? We rarely, I believe, rarely talk to in a nice manner. Especially as hard as it is to say, I think it even goes to as far as to from our significant others, right? So in your opinion, are men emotionally neglected?
I think that they are, because a lot of women don't have empathy anymore, especially for their partners, because it's all about themselves, and not what that man is going through. I just feel like this: if you're in a relationship with somebody, their emotional state is your responsibility too. It is your job as that spouse to make sure that your spouse is okay. It is your job as your spouse to help them come up with solutions to try to figure out whatever is ailing them or anything like that. Because no one person can do it alone.
Okay, yeah, I'm with that. I dig that. I see we got some people in here, man. Thank you for coming in. This is an impromptu uh podcast right now. We were actually supposed to have the Queens of Spades podcast, but we had some technical issues. So we just went ahead and joined in, and everybody's here on the Ace of Spades podcast, where we're just kicking it and talking about some things. So if you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to ask us. Just throw it in the comment section or whatnot. And if we know you and you want to join, just come on in. Before I get to Queen D, Goose the Prophet said, "Boom, Dizzle." That's what I'm talking about, man. I need to get my own little DJ DJ bomb. Christian says, "Hey y'all, we are, but fuck, it'll all right.
Let's say hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, we are, but fuck it. I'll just go talk to my therapist. Uh and sorry, I'm doing too much over here. Goose the Prophet says, I agree with Queen D and K. Well, Queen, wait, hold on. We didn't even hear from Queen D yet. You already agree.
I think he was talking about earlier.
Okay. I think you might be a little bit behind on the stream right now. So all right. So in regards to what I was the question, Queen D. Yeah. Do you think men are emotionally neglected? In your opinion?
I think they are, and men were always taught from a young age to be strong and shut that shit up, you'll be all right, and stuff like that. And I don't feel like a lot of women give men appreciation. Not saying that they should be looking for kudos or anything for doing a man's job, but I do feel like they should be appreciated, and they should know that.
Okay. I agree with that one, because I do think that we often would hear, man up, or men are not supposed to cry, Dizzle. So I mean, we're kind of taught at a young age to suppress our emotions, but just because you suppress something doesn't mean, I mean, it obviously is there if you have to suppress it, right? So are men emotionally neglected in your opinion, though?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we have men that are always working and, 12, 13 hour shift. They come home and, they're just stressed. So they just break down because they don't have no outlet of getting what's on their mind, or, what they're going through out. You should, as a partner, you should see those signs and say, hey, sit down, slow down. Um, is there anything, we could talk about? But, like the panel was saying, we have that. It's been instilled in us to just go, work hard, keep your head down, keep going, and not slow down and take time to work on ourselves.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. And because and it was beautiful when I seen it. I'm not gonna name any names, but there was a particular couple who was on the show, and they were talking about how they helped each other just by one saying I see a problem and the other one listening, and how they were able to grow from there. And I was just so amazed and delighted to see that type of structure. So yeah, I think it's very, very important. And it doesn't happen very often. So all right, so we're gonna jump into another video. I don't know what this one is about, but we're gonna check it out, and then I want to get y'all opinion on it when we come back.
Because she can lead also don't mean you can't. Just because she is strong also don't mean you aren't. Just because she can handle her own business, pay for, provide if needed to, don't mean you can't. Her strength is not an indictment on yours. If anything, that is your partner. It is an addition to yours. But yet and still, what you would rather do is find somebody that's without, because it makes you feel more of a man. It makes you feel more of a man when someone is weak. That's what they mean by men are intimidated by strong women. It's not a fear. I don't think you fear her in a sense of physically fearing her, but I think your masculinity does.
All right, Dizzle. Are men, what did he say, intimidated by a strong woman?
I feel like there are men that are definitely intimidated by a strong woman. But I mean, personally, I feel like, you know, that, I mean, as far as me, like I wouldn't let that bother me. I mean, you know, as far as, you know, her having a job or having a high paying job, I mean, that's cool. But it's like he said, it's supposed to be an addition, and it's not supposed to be a competition.
Okay. What says you, Queen D? Are men intimidated by a strong woman?
I think boys might be intimidated by a strong woman.
Okay.
But men
Ooh. Talk your shit.
But like we said earlier, I don't think that men are intimidated by that. It's just the attitude and stuff that comes along with it. Like, you don't want a woman barking down at you and trying to make it seem like she's better than you all the time. So I think that's what it is. It's boys, and then it's the women with the attitude.
Okay, I heard you loud and clear. Kate, what said you? Do you think that men are intimidated by a strong woman?
I agree with Queen D, but I also want to add the fact that I think a lot of men just, let a woman believe that they're intimidated, you know, because, for whatever reason, it could be, because they trying to sleep with them, or, they just, have a certain agenda that they're trying to achieve at that time. So, no, I don't think they are intimidated by us whatsoever.
Okay. All right. Well said. And Steve, man, what do you think? Do you think a man is intimidated by a woman's success or a strong woman?
I agree with the panel on that. I don't think a man is intimidated by it, but they don't want a person that's bragging, you know what I'm saying, boasting and shit about what they got or what they've done, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear about that, you know what I'm saying? Shut up and eat.
Eat the cake, anime, says Steve. So yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, I guess you're right. Let's see. That was a pretty straightforward video. Let's take a look at what this lady has to say.
Care how much money you make. It's not a barometer of whether they're going to choose you or not. They don't care. So it's not like, oh, she makes money and that's threatening to me and I don't know if I'm going to be able to compete. That is not what's going through their minds in the vast majority of cases. What's going through their minds is just, okay, like that's not going to make me pick you or not. That's not up there. In the same way I told you a million times that a guy will choose a woman who works at McDonald's over a CEO if they are pleasant, if their personality is right, if they're considerate, if they're loyal. It's just, money is just not high on the priority list for guys in terms of who they're going to choose to pair with.
All right. How do you feel about that, Steve? Do you think that money is not on a high priority when a man is choosing a mate?
I don't think it is. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. It's because it's more to it than just thinking about the money aspect of it. Can I actually live with this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Can we vibe? Can we actually, you know what I'm saying, sit at the table without fucking arguing. You know what I'm saying? Or when I go to sleep, is she gonna stab me in the fucking back? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, or like while I'm wide awake, if she out in the streets doing something, she's stabbing me in the back, she's snaking me out. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be worried about that. You want that trust factor in a relationship for that relationship to work. You know what I'm saying? If you vibing, you gonna vibe. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And you might just get the best of both worlds with a female that has a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Or make a lot of money later on. You know what I'm saying? If she continues to work. You know what I'm saying? You never know, but I don't think that's feasible.
Okay, I bet that. And Kay, what do you think? Do you think that making money, how much a woman is making, is not a number one on how men select their mates?
No, I think just like she said, if a woman is pleasant, you know what I'm saying, kind hearted, you know, if they seem like to be, you know, the motherly type to where, you know their kids to be taken care of, those are the ones that they're gonna choose, you know, for the long term. Now, if there are men looking for women strictly on the financial aspect of it, it's because they're looking for a woman to take care of them. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that's what it is. So that's just how I feel.
Damn. I like what you said. I like what you said. Queen D, what about you? Do you think that men choose mates based off of their mates' income?
Man, I was gonna say what Kay said. If you are bragging that you own a home, you are probably going to attract what you call them hobosexuals
Yeah, yeah.
or a man that wants a place to stay for the night. If you are bragging on your car, he's probably going to want to drive your car or something like that. Like men don't care about that. Like the lady said in the video, I agree with everything she said, and that's just like a man bragging on his money and his chains. He's gonna attract a money hungry woman. That's just how it goes. You what you put out, the energy what you put out, that's what you get in return. So if you want love and stuff, you should probably just put that out. Loyalty.
I hear that. I hear that. Queen D Dizzle, man, same thing to you, man. Do you think that men go for women based off of their incomes?
No, I don't think they do it. Like the lady says, it's low. It's low on the priority list. We, like she said, we'd rather have somebody we're compatible with, because not most 9 times out of 10 we're going to be, you know, be the provider. So no, I don't think I think it's low on the priority list.
Okay, okay, and because all right, we tackled this before, Dizzle, in the back chat. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of stuff go down after the show. For those that do not know, there's a lot of shit that goes on after the show. Now, one day when I get enough subscribers, we might be able to reveal some of those, you know, open up the blinds to what it really goes on in the back. But one of the things that we were talking about were women who were very successful in their careers, right? But they found themselves in a situation where they were not able to find a mate, right? So what happens is we call them graceful losers or samurais, right? They'll fall on their own sword and be like, well, you know what? I don't even want one anyways, right? So the question was posed: do you think that the result fuels the view, or do you think the view fuels the result? The result. Do you know what I mean by that?
Nah.
Okay, so what I mean by that is, do you not want to mate because you can't get a mate, or you can't get a you don't want to mate, so you think, well, I don't want to mate because you can't get one, or is it because you say you don't want one that you can't get one? Does that make sense?
Nah, you don't have to just come back
All
to
right,
me.
did that make sense to anybody? Does the result fuel the view, or does the view fuel the result? Meaning that because you are alone, um, you're now saying that you don't want a mate, or is it because you don't want to mate, you are alone?
I think it's because I think it is. I think they they can't get the man, so they say they don't want one. And I also think that if it's been like that for too long, then they probably eventually not really wanting a man.
Okay. Okay. I think they still want one. I think they just they
I mean,
trying
they
to
still want one, but then it
get.
becomes to where I've lived without this for so long. Do I really need one? I guess.
Okay, yeah. Oh, hey Rab, man, if you want to get up in here, feel free, man. Let me know. And I'll drop the link for you. Rab says complimentary over compatibility, in my opinion. Yes, sir. I definitely agree and welcome in here, good sir. Uh so yeah, I'm with that. Kate, what do you think? Do you think that the result fuels the view, or the view fuels the result the result?
Hold on, say that again. The result reveals the view, or the view reveals the result?
No, do you think the result fuels the view, or does the view fuel the result?
I think the result fuels the view.
Woo! Come on now. Y'all hitting it. Come on. Keep it coming. Okay. All right. All right. Did you have some more to add on
Because
that?
without the result, how can you have the view?
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. All right. I'm with that. Steve, same question to you, man. Do you think the result fuels the view, or do you think the view fuels the result?
The first one.
Okay, the the result fuels the view. All right.
No, I mean, no, like Kate took the words right out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a math equation. You know what I'm saying? You got to fucking figure out the fucking problem. You can't get the result until you fucking figure it out. So yeah, the first one definitely.
Okay, okay. So
And
you
can I
basically,
say keep a man, because anyone could get a man.
yes,
Keep a man is what
that's
I
the
meant to say.
difference.
Facts.
That's
Facts.
the difference. Yes, because you'll hear a lot of women being like, they think just because they could get a body in the bed that it counts towards them being able to get a man. No, that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for the ability to be able to keep a man, or for a man to choose you. That's where you cooking. So great distinction right there, Queen D. Let's see, we're gonna take a look at another video real quick. I don't know what these videos are, so just vibe with me.
And ideally, deep inside, for a lot of women, what they would love, if they're gonna be honest with you, is that, or you being honest with yourself, is that they would love to be able to have a situation where they can have a man they can trust and rely on, who does well enough that they can take care of them, and they're able to now pour their heart into family, kids, house.
All right, so oops, nope, not you.
You was preaching on that one.
What's that? You say he was teaching on that one?
I said he was teaching on that one.
I love Stephen Speaks.
I am not familiar with him. I found the clip, I think, off of Easy, I think was how you pronounce his name. So I might have to look into him, Queen D. But Steve, what says you, man? Do you think that the majority of women don't maybe not want to be so hard in this workforce, and maybe would like to pour more energy into the family?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Just speaking on the women that's on the panel, you know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty much what they're looking for, you know what I'm saying? Or half, you know what I'm saying? Not to say that they're not working or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? They holding down jobs, and they holding down families and shit, holding down kids. So, I think that's what it is, women are tired, what I'm saying, of trying to, what I'm saying, equate to a man, what I'm saying, not to say that they can't, but it's just with different walks of life, what I'm saying, the endurance, the testosterone in the man sometimes, most of the time, it should go longer than the female. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just, coming to that conclusion, compromising that C word, you know what I'm saying? And, start getting your relationship on. You know what I'm saying?
Copy that C word. This guy right here. All right. So okay. He got me with the C word. What the hell was my question? Do you think that most women would prefer to be have the ability to pour into their family versus pouring a lot of more energy into the workforce?
I think most women are tired. You know, you can't, do both at the same time. It's either or. You know, um, you can't. And what I mean by that is you can't be aggressive and then turn around and be, this woman at the same time. That if being your femininity at the same time. It's got to be either or. You know, in certain instances. So I mean, I just feel like the ones that feel like they can do it all, they had gotten to the point to where they realize they really can't do it all. We're not built for that. Our bodies are not built for that. Like a man, can harness pain, harness so much, and still have that humbleness about themselves. Unlike us, after a while, we tend to lash out. So I feel like, yeah, they're tired.
Okay, bet that. Queen D, what says you? Do you think that most women would prefer to be have the ability to pour into family than necessarily have to deal with the hustle and bustle of everyday work inside of the outside of the home?
Yes, I agree with that and the panel, and I hear it every day coming from women online, women I know personally. They're tired. They're tired of working so hard. It's almost like they're crying for help. And yeah, they're just tired. It's I mean, sometimes we do too much, and instead of just playing our role, we want to do everything. I understand when we're forced to do everything, but some women turn down a good man and stuff and just choose to do everything, and then it becomes overwhelming.
Okay. Well said, well said. I agree with that. Dizzle, man, do you think that women would do you agree that most women would like to um have the ability to pour into their family versus the alternative of just jumping into the work cog and or work machine and becoming another cog in the machine?
Yeah, I think slowly but surely a lot of women are realizing that they would much rather do that than to be out here having a 9 to 5. So yeah, I definitely agree.
Okay. So you got a special lady who can who's over there basking in their femininity over there uh up in the house, man, huh? What you got going on over there?
You know.
If you know, you know. You damn skippy. You damn skippy.
Sci-
And then
Scientific.
I go ahead. Scientifically, what?
I was gonna say scientifically, like, women, we are the bearer of children. We are the nurturers. That is what we're supposed to do. It's in us. So they go against the grain sometimes and want to work every day, all day, and that's really something for a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
I
also feel like, I'm sorry,
no.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry,
Go
E.
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
What I was gonna say was I also feel like not to, I mean, go off topic a little bit, but these kids out here need their moms to be at home. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much going on to where the kids I'm not behaving the way they would if mom was at home. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're wilding out the way that they are because they want that attention, that that nurturing spirit that a mom would have.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
definitely
was gonna add to that too. In regards to it, I'm gonna go on my little soapbox real quick. In regards to the infiltration of the CIA into the black culture, you know what I'm saying? They tricked them back in the day. You know what I'm saying? They get on government assistance and all that. That we'll be your husband. We'll take care of the household. But you know what I'm saying? When that shit ran short, now they gotta work. Now they looking for a man. You know what I'm saying? It confused them or created this illusion that they was gonna be straight the rest of their lives, and now they, you know what I'm saying, they had to, embrace that femininity and stuff like that. But now they saying it's too much, you know what I'm saying, and they want that, you know
But
what I'm saying,
not
because there's so
but
many
not
people.
only that though, Steve, it's because now that with all these reality shows and stuff like that, to where they think these men out here giving women 10, 20, $30,000, so they trying to keep up this image to where they feel like they have to work so hard to keep them bank accounts up like that, and so that they can keep up with the Joneses. And after a while that puts a wear and tear on you.
But I'm thinking about just the women that was hurt, you know what I'm saying? Or like the fathers that left it and was like, man, fuck this family, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Tell your mama I ain't coming back. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. And you know what I'm saying? And they was hurt and then they fell for the government taking care of them. You know what I'm saying? What is that called? Not capitalism, socialism. I can't remember what it's called, but you know what I'm
socialism.
saying? Socialism. When,
Socialism.
when the government is taking care of you, when the government is in your business, it fucks up everything. Then you end up with fucking Putin running the goddamn country. You know what I'm saying? Like with like it interferes with that family dynamic. You know what I'm saying? That pyramid of the family. You know what I'm saying? It breaks that pyramid. It tears that pyramid apart, and the pyramid is hard to fucking break. You know what I'm saying? When you got the government involved in your situation, that's why there's so many fathers on paying hella child support, going to jail for child support, you know what I'm saying? Can't get a job because of child support, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was speaking on, on that. And now they're actually wisening up. But I mean, it's not too late. But damn, nigga, it took 60 years for you to wake up, you know what I'm saying? To actually see, where you were falling at, you know.
Nah, 100. Oh, go ahead, Queen D.
Oh, I was gonna say something on what Steve was talking about as well. Like, I just saw a video recently. I guess uh this little boy's mom had him call his dad, and his dad was like, I'm not coming to pick you up no more, or I'm not doing this and this for you because your mom knew what she was doing when she put me on child support and stuff like that. And I've seen that so many times. It ends up hurting the kids because the mom wants to play games. It could be a dad that's taking care of the child financially and everything, being a good father, but because he doesn't want to be with her, or they're not together and she wants her own way, she goes and puts him on child support, and then it becomes a feud between both parents, and then the dad is like, I'm not going to do anything for you, I'm not picking you up, I don't want to talk to you or nothing till your mom gets me off of this paperwork.
Mhm.
And then it just ends up hurting the kids at the end of the day.
Yeah, most definitely. I totally agree with that. And I think that's that brainwashing. That's that fucking psyops that I be talking about, that psychological warfare in the black community, with the government having their hand in the black family structure. That's what tears them apart, because she's looking at it like, I got guaranteed money coming from the government. You know what I'm saying? You not paying, you gave me $150 last week, but for school supplies and stuff, I needed 250. Where I'm gonna get that other money because I'm not working. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go to the government and get the government involved, and then you're in this rat race for 18 years, and it just creates that resentment, like you just said, Queen D. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, man, because Steve, you took it right out of the words right out of my mouth, man. Because I was I was about to get on my theory, you know what I'm saying, which was exactly what you said, good sir, which was the fact that, I think this is some type of supremacy plan all along, which is, like you said, to get their hands into our family and separate us. And they done it, and they've done such a great job that even the women are questioning the motives of the men, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, what can you do?
Yeah,
What
most
can you
definitely.
do?
Most definitely. And
So
that's
I
why
mean,
we got us killing each other. Our kids
exactly.
out there killing each other that grew up together, went to grammar school together, played ball together. Now they killing each other. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like
yeah.
there's no love no more. You know what I'm
No,
saying? Because of that.
definitely not, man. And yeah, so I think it's working to a T to have the ladies with that type of view. Especially speaking of views, because one of the things that I know there's a lot of ladies out there. Whew, these ladies do not they do not. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Hey,
And I find
bring
it.
Regina Hall back.
Hey, I don't know if it's Regina Hall, but we're gonna talk about the fact that there's a lot of ladies that have a issue with a certain word. But I wanna see if somebody can define it, and that word is submission. So I want to see the what somebody defines it, and I want to see what you guys define it as. All right, if you agree.
Will give you the most amazing man. He will tap into all your needs. He will make sure you are protected, never cheat on you. All you need to do is be submissive to him. 90% of women will sign up right away.
What does submissive mean?
Submissive meaning in allowing him to lead in the relationship. Well, let me say this. Because I think when people hear submission, they do think of dictatorship.
Right.
They think of doing as he says. They're thinking of this
His way or
power
the
struggle.
highway,
Yes. Submission, in my eyes, when it comes to relationship, is one, allowing that man to love you. What I mean by that is this. When a man is truly in love with a woman, he wants to do for her. He wants to provide for her. He wants to make sure she's good. If you don't submit to that, you're going to be in this energy that's, I got it. I can take care of it. It's not letting him love you. And in not letting him love you, you're carrying this unnecessary burden that's wearing you down.
Ooh, we. Rab says, it's still love out there, Steve. It ain't no accountability, my brother.
No, I feel that because I'm one. I'm one. Like I don't have no issues, you know what I'm saying, with going to pick up my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like I never had the sheriff escorted me to jail or anything for child support or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel that 100% on the accountability, but it's just developing that trust with that woman, regardless if you're married or not, having that trust and bond, knowing that you're gonna be do right by her. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if it didn't work out, you're still gonna do right by her. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that you're gonna take care of your children. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of women on the flip side that don't, they just brainwashed. They was like, man, fuck this dude. You know what I'm saying? It was a one night stand. I got pregnant, this and that, whatever. He ain't coming back, so I'm gonna just get the government involved, and and then you get into that rat race type deal. You know what I'm saying? But I totally agree with rap.
All right. So, Steve, I guess we'll start with you. Do you agree with his definition of submission, or do you think it's something else?
You goddamn right. You know what I'm saying? I totally agree with it. I'm gonna keep it short because I've been running my damn mouth. I'm sober today.
Oh, that was short. Okay. Okay. Do you agree with his definition of submission? And an added question is, do you think that women view submission in a negative way?
I definitely do agree with exactly what he's saying because when some women today view submission, they do view it as a dictatorship, do as I say, you know what I'm saying, type situation. But what I think is a lot of us women forgot about, what love is, when a man, you know, take over certain roles, he's showing his love for you, telling you, don't worry about it, baby. I got this. You just, do this over here. You don't have to worry about this because I'm gonna handle this. That we don't understand what love is anymore, because there's no such thing as love out here anymore to me. If it ain't, you know oh, he gave me this gift, or he took me on this trip, or he gave me X amount of dollars, what I'm saying, for my birthday, or doing something extravagant. They don't see, nothing else as love but that.
Okay, all right. And Queen D, what do you think about his definition of submission? And do you think uh women see the word submission as a negative thing? Because what he said, just allow us to love you. That one hit me because I know whenever a man usually gives a woman a compliment like, hey, you look beautiful today, it's usually met with yeah, right, or what do you want type of thing, and it's never just really received.
Oh, I was ugly yesterday.
What's up?
Or I was ugly. I was ugly yesterday. What you talking about?
Whoa, man!
You know what I'm talking
That's what I'm talking about. Queen. So Queen D, yeah. I mean, what do you think about that?
I agree with him, but to add on to that, I think submission is respect, honesty, and loyalty. And I also feel like it's given both ways to say if a man is playing his role and he has to go work and pay the bills and stuff, that can be looked as a submission to his role that he has to play. So I do think women see it as a negative. I think they see it as like a dominance, and that it's some misuse it sometimes. But I think if they don't show appreciation for each other and contributions, then for each other and their contributions, then it might make one seem lesser than the other. And some may be demanding or not giving when one is in submission sometimes. I've seen that situation as well. So, yeah, I think submission, women should submit. Submission is good. And like I said, if a man is doing his role, that can be submission to his role as well. So it's a form of submission.
Okay, because I think that that is very interesting that you said that. I never thought of it like that. So I can see why things get thrown out of whack because if you're not even letting me
Do
let
your
me
job.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Wow. Okay. Well said. Damn, you got me thinking on that one. All right, Dizzle, man. To you, what do you think about what he said as submission? And do you think that a lot of women view submission as a negative thing?
And I totally agree with old dude. I mean, I couldn't have said it any better myself. But the yeah, I definitely think they just they think of the word submissive as a negative connotation. They just think that when that word gets brought up, they think you're supposed to bow down and be a slave or and do whatever the your partner tells you to. But no, you just gotta allow him, like the dude said, just allow him to love you and quit being so damn tough all the damn time.
Well said, man. I wonder why do our women have to be so tough? Goodness gracious.
And to speak on what you and Steve were talking about the compliments and stuff, I've seen that firsthand. I've done that in the past,
Come
but
on, come
that
on,
will
tell me
make
more.
No, oh,
Train the devil.
that will make a man not even want to compliment you no more.
Come
So
on.
yeah.
y'all gotta cut that out.
Come on, man. Y'all heard it right here from Queen
Even
D, man. Cut
even
that
when
shit out.
even when I'm walking into the store and be like a woman come now, open up the door, and she just walk on past, don't say thank you, nothing.
Hey, I heard nigga when she walked past. That's what I always heard.
Damn.
See, they tapped into their masculinity.
All right. Well, yeah, that's well said, Queen D, and thanks for sharing that. So we talked about the children aspect of it as well, right? So I want to get an understanding. I want to set the precedent right now. And I'm gonna ask you, Dizzle. Does one sex have more responsibility than the other when it comes to picking the right partner to procreate with?
I know you go with this. Oh man. I answered before. I feel like I get what your stance on it, but I just feel like you should just find somebody who's compatible for you. And I get the women bear the child, and they need the man to bear the child, and I get all that. But well, if you're not compatible, then why should you even be wasting your time?
Okay. Queen D, do you believe that do you think that one sex holds more responsibility when it comes to picking a mate?
I feel like the men should be the choosers and go after whatever they see fit for their life. But I do feel like women have a say so whether they're in agreement or not to be in that commitment. But I don't know, like if we want to go scientific like Gooch, the sperm swims to the egg. So so yeah, I just feel like the men should be the choosers. And then like even with that, I feel like it's kind of mixing masculinity and femininity, because I've started to see like a lot of women chase after men and even proposing to men and things like that. And I've never been that type to even approach a man first. I've always been approached first and things like that. I just feel like it's the feminine thing to do is to let a man approach you.
All right, so I think you might misunderstood the question. So the question is basically who bears the responsibility, if any, when it comes to um picking the right mate to produce a child with, meaning is it more so on, does the women, would women hold most of the weight if they chose a bad mate, or would the men hold more of a weight if they chose a bad mate?
I think it could be equal, but I still believe it's the men that would hold more weight, because that decision could ruin a man's life for real.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I'll give you my breakdown on that as well. After I ask Kay and Steve. So Kay, do you think that one sex holds more responsibility when it comes to picking a mate than the other?
You asked Kay, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Uh,
She might be busy.
Possibly.
So all right, we'll skip over and go to you, Steve. Do you think one sex holds more responsibility when it comes to picking the right mate?
Yeah, I would definitely, like Queen D just said, definitely. I totally agree with. If Prophet was here, he would have said the same shit. You know what I'm saying? It's the man. You know what I'm saying? Because
Ooh.
you have to be. I think it's the male has to have more knowledge in regards to like what comes after that. You lay down with them and you have that baby, you make that seed, and you can't afford it, you're gonna end up on child support, things of that nature. You're not working, you know. I would definitely say that.
Okay, I didn't expect this. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't expect this. Uh, okay, so I'm gonna break it down a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna come to you, Queen D. What happens when a good man um chooses a bad mother or a bad woman to like a woman, a not good mother? All right, ladies gone. The ladies ran out. Queen D.
I'm here.
All right, all right. So the question is, is what
My bad. I'm here. I'm sorry. What was the question?
So, okay, well, I'll ask you, Kay, the original question before I go to Queen D. The original question is, welcome in, Prophet as well, man. Welcome in here, good sir.
Yo.
Yes, sir.
Smashing that pot.
The question was does one sex hold more of the responsibility when it comes to picking the right mate?
Wait a minute. Is what?
Does one sex hold more of the responsibility when it comes to picking a mate?
Is it a woman's responsibility? You said right.
Did I say that? I didn't say that. I'm asking you.
No, I'm saying that's what you said, right?
No, I'm just asking. Is it the man or the woman? Who's is there? Are neither? Are both?
I think you know what. Honestly, I think it should be the man's responsibility because the man is the one that approaches the woman. You know, and I also think that a man should get to know the woman a lot more. Because they are the ones that like Queen D said. Let, insert the egg into the woman to create the baby. So, I mean, a woman can't create babies without the man. So, I think it should be the man's responsibility.
Man's
Hey,
responsibility.
let me clarify what I was hitting at, because
Okay.
you know what I'm saying. I don't mean to cut you off, Kay, but I was saying in regards to it, once the male gets caught up in that system, that's a long ride. You know what I'm saying? They need to be more conscious, because you know what I'm saying, like, any man can make a baby, but when the government get involved, like I was saying a couple questions ago, you know what I'm saying, that male can be screwed if he don't know how to manage money and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they gonna hold that male accountable. Same thing with domestic violence. When the police come, they removing the male. They're not removing the female. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of responsibility come with that. With if you pick that wrong woman and you end up in a domestic violence dispute, you going to jail, buddy. You know what I'm saying? They gonna say, hey, yeah, you're gonna have to step outside. Next thing you know, chink chink, you in the back of the car heading to the station. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was saying that I would think that it would be the male, just being a responsible man.
I bet that. Bet that. I and Goose the Prophet. What says you, man? Is one sex more responsible for picking the mate than the other?
Yeah, I think that that ultimately, like when it boils down to it, it goes to the male, but it's almost like they're making it impossible for the male to be able to do what he's supposed to do. Um, just because the delusion and the way that they're choosing is, it's just like just about every girl, you know what I'm saying? I'll say 85% of the women are going with the popular opinion, which is based upon, falsehood. So it's extremely difficult nowadays to for men to even find a woman, you know what I'm saying, that'll have them and follow their lead. I think that originally it boils down to the male, but nowadays, you know what I mean, it's almost impossible for the man to do that.
Okay. All right. Well said. I'm gonna go to the comments real quick and then I'll come back to this. Rap says it's still love out there. Oh, I think I read that one. And then he said, complimentary over compatibility, my brother Lee. Just my opinion. Laugh out loud. Says Rap. All right. So can I throw my opinion in here for a little bit? I think it's the woman, and this is why I say it's more on the woman, because I think that a lot of the answers have relied on the grown people, and I'm not really concerned with the grown people. I'm more concerned with the child. So let me ask you this, Prophet: when a good man gets with a not so good woman, um how what usually happens? Where's the man going to be at in that situation?
In jail on child
Well,
support.
no, he's a good man. He's a good man. He's a good man.
It's yeah. I mean, shit. If a good, he gonna be stressed out. That's for sure. If,
Stressed
at the
out,
least.
that's fine. But most
Um.
likely he's going to be there in the child's life, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
More than likely.
that when you have a child in a male in a child's life, the statistically they fare better than a child without a father in the home. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree.
So if a good man picks a bad woman, the child still has an opportunity to have a good outcome, statistically speaking, right? So what happens when a good man chooses a good woman?
Then they should have a good outcome. If a good man, good woman, they should have some good kids.
So statistically, they should be able to produce good children, right? And that's with the man picking a good or maybe not a good woman, right? What happens when which is we already found out, what happens when a not so good woman chooses a good man?
She stress him out. He probably gonna leave.
He's probably going to leave, but he's a good man, so he's still going to be there for the child, which puts them in a great advantage, right? Because we all know somebody who probably has a bad baby mother, but they're still there for the children, right?
Yep. Yep.
All right. But what happens when a not so good mother chooses a not so good man?
They're gonna have a lot of problems, and the kids gonna have a lot of problems, a lot of trauma.
And most likely the dad's not going to be there, right? Because he's not
If
a good
it's
man.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So he's not going to be involved as the good man is. So to me, that says that even with all these scenarios, the burden is on the woman to choose a good man. If we go by, if there's a good man, then there's has to be a bad man, right? There's opposite of that spectrum. So it would be more on the woman to choose a good man, regardless of if she's a good or bad woman, right? Because a good man would be there to help statistically, at least advantage the child. So that's why I say it's more important for the female to choose the right mate than the male is. What says you all?
Well,
Anybody?
I
I
get
don't think so.
I get what you're saying, and that does make sense. You're basically saying, man, a good man choose a bad partner or a good partner that the baby still come out good regardless, as long as he a good man. The woman choose a bad partner, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna work in her benefit. But that kind of goes along with that's because they're not designed to be in that type of role. It's like kind of like men having more than one women or having a lot of women versus women having a lot of men. I don't think it's gonna match up like that. But I think that ultimately, as a young man carrying the seed of life in your inside your body, I think you have to be very careful where you plant that seed. And I think if we were to, then again, nah, you know what I'm
Because
saying?
again, you're still
Because
looking at
You
from a
know,
good
because
man
the women
perspective.
because the
I,
women the women I think are delusional, man. It's like it's no like there's a lot of women out there who it's like we can't they can't men can't please those women because those women
But
they
again,
want
I'm not talking about pleasing the women. All I'm saying is that a good man would still be there for his father for their child, even in the midst of a bad woman or someone who is less ideal to work with. Do you
well,
agree or
that's
disagree
true
with that,
too.
Prophet?
I think that a good like the bad woman still is there with the kid.
Come on, man. We got a lot of fatherless homes, so you can't say someone who doesn't want to be a father. Let's change bad for someone who doesn't want to be a father.
Okay. If someone doesn't want to be a father, yeah, I mean that don't usually work out too well. Fatherless homes, you know what I mean? Motherless homes don't work out too well either. I think that it may possibly work out better than fatherless homes, but at the same time, you know, I just feel like if we're talking about like the responsibility, I think that the seed of life was entrusted in us, as men.
Again, I think you're missing the point though. The point has to
Can
do
I?
with
Can I?
if you have to choose. I'll get you in here, Kay. I'll get you in here. I promise. I promise. I will. I just want to see if just see make sure we're clear. I'm saying that if and replace bad with don't want to be a father, right? With being a father, right? Because when it comes down to it, either you're going to be a father or you're not going to be a father, right? So for those who, if you're going to pick, because even if yes, you're 100% right, Prophet, statistically showing that if the child is left with the father, they're still statistically better than when they're left with the mother alone, right? So yes, you're right in that aspect. So that even so still makes it even more important for a woman to pick the best mate in hopes to statistically put the child at a greater advantage. I'm not talking about the man because we're grown, right? So you make your bed. If you choose to lay with somebody who's not fit to be a mother, then that's the decision you made, right? But as long as you're the one that is the good father, the good man, the child still has a better advantage. So that's why I think even in the situation where let's say a mother doesn't want to be a mother, it's still better to pick a father who would be a father versus over one that wouldn't. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, I agree that they should pick someone that's going to be a father.
All right, we'll find common ground on that one then. All
Yeah,
right,
I just
Kay.
think I think that, to be honest with you, like I said, me speaking from a man's perspective, I feel like that we have the seed of life, and that's power. You know what I'm saying? And we can choose where we want to plant that seed at. However, it's still the women have the womb. You know what I'm saying? The ground or the soil or whatever for the seed to grow. They can choose whether or not they want a seed to go in them. So I think that when it really boils down, it kind of boils down to both of them.
Again,
Both of them have the right to choose who they lay down with.
all right. I don't think I hit my mark. Because yeah, I don't think I hit my mark on that one. All right, so we're gonna move to K. K wanted to put something in here. Go ahead and do your thing.
What I was gonna say was, in a perfect world, what you're describing, yeah, it would go that way. But in this day and age, right now, the men has sat back and decided to let the women choose, their mate, and time again, we're constantly choosing wrong.
Yes.
So, you know what I'm saying? So why not reverse the role and allow the men to take over, choose who they want to have as a mate, and balance out the dynamics
Well, that's
like it used to be back in the day.
well, that's because I don't think that's how biology works. Now, I do think that's how tradition works, right? But I don't think that's how biology works. Whenever you see a bird usually dancing around, it's usually the male saying, "Look at me," right? They even call it peacocking with certain when men
But
do it, right?
it's women out here that know these men are married or have,
So that's my
girlfriends or
point.
whatever, and
That's exactly my point.
they
That's my
still
point.
choosing to be with that man.
That's my point. So they are now choosing someone who either is a multiple baby mothers and not taking care of any of the children because that happens quite a bit, and they still choose to lay with them because let's not be naive. Women control relations, right? We controls relationships, right? So the women still control who they give access, who gets access to their bodies. Are we in agreement on that at least?
No, we're in agreement with that.
Okay, so then
We're in
there.
agreement with that. But what I'm saying is, if we leaving it up to the women to choose a good
Now
mate,
you talking a
time
different
and time
story.
again,
You talking a
that's
different
what you
story.
said.
Well, no. What I'm gonna say is, well, okay. I thought you were speaking on a tradition aspect.
No, okay, so with the traditional aspect, it would be the man to choose the woman
Well,
because
no,
of what he sees in that woman.
no. In tradition aspect,
But
the
that woman
man.
still
Well, hold
that
on, Prophet, because I think me and you agreed on this. In tradition, the man would choose the man for the woman.
yeah,
You
that's true.
just proved that
That's the
though.
same thing.
You just proved that the woman should not pick if they're
No,
gonna
no, no.
be
I'm not.
with
I'm not saying they shouldn't. What I'm saying. Yes, you're right. I don't think that they
I'm
should. But
saying
right
they
now, we're not in
shouldn't.
that. Yes, and I agree with you for saying that they shouldn't. But we're not in that tradition, right? We're in a tradition
Right,
where the women select. The women select here
that's
in the
what I'm
West.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the roles have reversed. It used to be where the men would choose the woman because of what they see in that woman, which made a better mate. You know what I'm saying? Like the family dynamic state, was whole. But
Yeah.
since it's switched, since the
I
roles
get.
are
I
switched
think.
now in this day and age, the family is not whole because the women are not choosing the right people. They choose it for assets and not for the character of the person.
I think that men are less picky. You know what I'm saying? I think that men would just take a woman. You know what
Especially
I'm
men
saying?
that don't want to be fathers.
Uh, Even men that want to be fathers, I think that men just will
But they're
take a
not the
woman.
issue. You know what
Like
I'm saying?
if the picking was up to the man, I think the man wouldn't have a problem picking a woman, saying, "Hey, I'm gonna be with this woman." What happens is when men pick a woman, the woman usually picks somebody else, and the men are not resisting the woman's picking. You know what I'm saying? They use that picking. She may say, "Okay, I want this man to be my husband," but he has no intention on being her husband. He has just intentions on having relations. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. There are some out there like that.
All right, so this is how that goes. What happens is women select men based off of whatever women select men based off of. I can't say that's wrong because this is biology. Whatever tells you to move that way in your biology is what tells you to move that way. All I'm saying is that you give access. For instance, if let's say somebody strapped with C4 and TSA is the man. Okay, so if somebody strapped with C4 is the man, right? And if TSA is the woman, right? So if they let them go in past the motherfucking gates and they destroy some shit, who fault is it? It's the TSA fault because they granted access to that individual. So that's why it's more important for the ladies, I believe, right, to pick the right mate, because depending on picking the wrong one could be disastrous, not for them alone, but more importantly for their child. I don't care about somebody being stressed out. I don't care about somebody having a hard time dealing with somebody. What I care about is the child who didn't ask to be there, how they feel. That's what I care about. But I'm gonna
They're
let you.
both they're both giving access to their body parts. I think if a woman is not ready to have a child, then she should probably be on some type of contraception or something. And a man who's not ready to have a child or be a father shouldn't put himself in that position.
Anybody else got anything to say about it?
Nah, I
Anybody?
agree with that.
Boom.
I agree with that. I think that when it comes down to the power of choice, I think that both people have to agree in order to have sex. They have to
But
go
in a
into
lot of the
agreement.
dynamics, the woman is following the man too.
But she has to agree. Like if people choose bad partners, it's on
There
both
are
of them.
men out,
You
but
know,
there are men out here that will sit up there and not make up an excuse, but refuse, contraceptives.
yeah,
And the woman would
but
go for that because she's trying to be with that man.
And
yeah,
that mean the man is making a decision which he is picking to be
and
the father.
and she's making the decision to let him go up in there raw.
Well,
But the
he's not.
man is
He's not.
picking
He's not.
first.
He's not picking to be the father. He's picking to have sex. That's it.
Okay, but you know what raw sex comes with:
But that
disease,
doesn't. That still doesn't mean that.
children.
but that still doesn't mean that he wants to be a father or even plans to be a father, right? And let's say he did want to make a baby,
Then
doesn't
that
mean that
man
he's
is
going to
in
take care of it.
delusion.
Or
Well,
he's irresponsible.
and but I'm saying,
He's
but we say it as if it doesn't exist. That men that create babies that don't be there doesn't exist.
And women create babies just because they want the man. Women are not creating babies because they want the child all the time. Sometimes they creating the babies because they want that type of man that they created the baby with, just to
But
keep a
they,
man.
but typically women get stuck with the baby. True or false?
That's true, but that still doesn't mean neither one of them wanted to be parents.
All right. I mean, okay.
I think that if a man goes and has sex with a woman unprotected, you know what I'm saying? He's in denial. You know what I'm saying? Or in delusion, just like the women are. You know what I'm saying? Because science says, biology says, sperm and egg make baby. So if you shooting your sperm inside a woman and not expecting a baby, that's delusion.
A lot of times men are better at making decisions anyways, because sometimes women's emotions and other things get involved where it clouds the decision making. So I still think it's the man's choice.
I'm not gonna necessarily just put it all on the man. I think that when it boils down to it, it takes two of them to agree. You know what I'm saying? The man's got to go in, she's got to let him in. You know what I'm saying? They're both making a decision.
I
Yeah.
agree with that, but you just said the man has to go in and she has to let him in, meaning the man is the initiator.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but she gotta allow. She still has to allow it. You know what I'm
Yeah, so
saying?
it's
He can
both of
initiate.
them.
They initiate
Unless
it.
it's rape. Unless it's
We ain't
rape.
talking
Yeah.
about that. We ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about that.
But I think it boils down to because at one point in time I felt like it was just a man's decision. But if it was just a man's decision, man wouldn't have no problem getting the woman he want because he just, you know what I'm saying, have sex with her and make babies and keep her there. But it's like
That's the point.
that's not the way it
That's not
works.
how it's set up,
So
biology wise.
they both have to go into agreement. They both have to go into agreement with one another to have sex. It's a it's a consensual thing.
Yeah.
I agree
Yeah.
with that, but I mean, Prophet, I know you like to go back to Adam and Eve. So when when God gave Adam the instruction, if he was being a man and listened to God instead of listening to his wife to persuade him, then it probably wouldn't be messed up.
I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that men are not the leaders. I'm just talking about as far as like who has the power of life or when it comes to choosing a mate. I don't think that a man can go to a woman and say, "Hey, I
You're
like you.
mine.
You're going to
Yeah.
be mine." And I don't think that a woman can go
It
to a
has,
man.
in some
I don't
instances, it
I was
does
about
happen
to
like
say
that.
a lot of
Hey,
women
wait a
claim that
minute. Hold on.
flattery.
That's not the rule though. The rule is that the women choose the
It
mates. That's
it
the
might
rule.
not be the rule, but it's some men that do that, and women go.
And you
They
know
find
what?
it flattering.
And there's a seahorse that gives birth. That's a man, but that's not normally the rule of it. Right? So yeah, there's exceptions, but you can't count the minimum as if it's a major. It's not that's just not how it works. In a lot of not just our Homo sapiens, but in a lot of different animal kingdoms, that's just not how it works. The females usually select because you're looking at genes. That's why I say I can't fault you for what you're attracted to,
But
but you're
but
normally,
nobody is looking at that anymore. It's about the
but that's part of
assets
it though.
now.
That's part of it though, is usually status, right? So that's usually one of the things that would attract someone to looking at somebody, is because of status. And I think that still is here now, because if you look at a lot of ugly people who are famous and got status, they still get women because they got status, right? So that's a form of what women look for as well. But did anybody else want to say anything? I'll give you the last word on it. All right, we beat that one to death. All right, so we'll just go ahead and go on to the next video. I have no idea what it is, but you know what? Oh, it's almost time to get out of here, isn't it? Is it almost time? I think it is. All right, we'll check one more.
Extremely combative, aggressive. But when they say, well, you need to say it nicer. But are we giving out what we want to receive? And I don't say this to put our women down. I know the history of what we've gone through. This is more so we can have a conversation, be real with each other so that we as a community can get better results. If we're not real with each other, especially the older women talking to younger women, I want every woman in this room to win. I have no competition with you. A lot of your mothers are in competition with you. Okay? They don't want you to win. They didn't raise you to be a wife because they didn't understand. They did the best with what they knew.
All right, are a lot of older or a lot of older women in competition? Do they not want other women to win? What is going on here?
Um,
Dizzle, I'll start with Dizzle.
Yeah, they're definitely. I feel like they're in competition. I feel like, well, depending on the age, I feel like they're definitely trying to hold on to grasp their youth and not let go. But yeah, I definitely think they're in a competition.
All right, well said. Queen D, do you think that a lot of women are older women are in competition and not giving the game to the younger women?
I'm not sure if it's competition, but I know some older women sometimes get bad advice, or maybe they don't know better, or some do it out of envy. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's really competition.
Okay, all right. What says you, Goose the Prophet? Do you think a lot of older women are in competition with younger women so much so that they won't even hook them up with the game and how this thing goes? Because I know we talk about a lot of women, especially those that are highly successful, and you know they're alone and they're not giving them the real spiel on what it's like to be living this life. I don't think. I think they'll be quick to tell somebody, "Hey, leave him. He's not worth it," so on and so forth. But what do you think about it?
um, it's not competition, it's envy. You know, I don't think it's like, I think it's more so like, I didn't have a man, so I don't want you to have a man. You know what I'm saying? Or I didn't have a dad, so I don't want you to have a dad. You know, I think it's more so them not wanting to. I think it's jealousy. You know, it's, and when it boils down to it, I've seen it happen even with father and son. You know, um, to where it's like, if a child is aspiring to be something greater than what their parents were, or, you know what I'm saying, or if they're doing something that exceeds what their parents accomplished, then a lot of times the parents, you know what I'm saying, will kind of shit on that. You know what I mean? If a woman didn't have a family, she's not gonna be, promoting. There's gonna be jealousy there. You know what I mean? And I think it's a result of trauma, but I don't necessarily think it's competition. I think it's more so jealousy.
Okay, okay. Kay, what says you, man? My lady, do you think that a lot of older women are leaving younger women out to dry when it comes to certain situations?
Um, in some instances, I think it is, a little jealousy there or a little envy there. But in other instances, I think that, some of the younger women are not willing to listen to, what advice that us older women might have. They look at us as being, washed up, chewed up and thrown out, because of the attention that they're getting because of their youth.
Okay, so you saying you think that the older women are giving the game, it's just the younger women ain't picking it up.
Exactly, because they looking at it as, well, that was back in your day. This is 2023 now. We do it differently.
Okay, all right, that's okay. I can see that. I can see that. Steve G, what says you? Do you think that the older women are in competition with the younger women, or do you think that are they giving the game? Do you think they're not giving the game? What do you think?
Hey, you know what? Prophet, he took the words right out of my mouth. In regards to jealousy and envy, but I think it can go both ways. You know what I'm saying? Because um, with the jealousy and envy creates the one that I was talking about in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? That's a product of the government, system. You know what I'm saying? She didn't have it, so she don't want you to have it. You know what I'm saying? But for the ones like Kay just said, like speaking of my mother, you know what I'm saying, or yeah, or my sister's mother, you know what I'm saying, even though her and my dad didn't work out, she still gave my sister, a game on how to be a wife. My father gave her a game on what he would expect in a wife. You know what I'm saying? So she turned out pretty decent. So I would definitely say 50-50 on that.
Damn, well said, well said. All right. Just so I can start some shit. Steve, do you think we should change this whole thing in the West and have the men start picking the men, vetting the men for the ladies?
I wouldn't see a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I teach my son on what to look for in a woman all the time. You know what I'm saying? Especially now since he's 18. You know what I'm saying? And I teach my daughters. My daughters already know. You know what I'm saying? Because my daughters are under me a lot. Especially when they're all together. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Okay. Okay. What says you? Do you think that the older men should be vetting the younger men for before they have access to the ladies in their families?
I definitely do because I feel like, the men can teach, the younger boys how to be husbands and what to look for in a wife and, the characteristics that in that woman instead of just going for, what the aesthetics are.
So you telling me if your boo thing that could if he was in the chat room, right, and he had to go past Steve G before he could go to you would be okay with Steve G giving a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Is that what you're
Get
telling
that
me?
nigga Steve.
I mean, absolutely, because I mean, for the simple fact is, maybe that men, what men, how men characters are around other men is different from how they are when they are with around women. So he could be putting up a front.
I definitely agree with you on that one. Gooch
I
the
mean,
prop.
he could be putting up a front for for me, but get around other men, his whole character can change to something else. So definitely.
I bet that, bet
And
that.
then I'm on that nigga ass.
Locked and loaded. Goose the Prophet. Do you think that men should vet other men for the ladies of the family?
Um, I think that the man should definitely have like the approval or disapproval, but only if the men are taking care of the women. So like say for instance, like um if I'm going to relinquish my daughter or give my daughter away to a man, I have to have her. You know what I'm saying? Which meaning like she should be under my roof or me taking care of her until she finds a man, you know. And if that's the case, then I think that we should have the say so. But I think that like if I don't think it's gonna work properly, um, if the woman has to go out and go to college and get a degree and start their own career and get their own thing going, you know what I'm saying, on their own, and then the man having the approval. I don't think that that works out. I think that what we would have to do is have to take care of the women, you know what I'm saying, in the family, and then we have the approval to give her away. Uh
But it is like that in some cultures, though.
yep. And that's what I'm saying. That's the way I think it should be. If a man chooses to approach, you know what I'm saying, my daughter, you know, she'll be under my roof, under my law, and then after he comes to me for my blessing, if I choose to give the blessing, only then will I release her to him.
All right,
But if
bet.
I've already released her to society, you know what I'm saying, she's on her own, then it's kind of her own decision to release herself.
Okay, okay, bet that then. Queen D, what do you think? Do you think men should vet other men for the women in their lives?
I agree with the panel, and I feel like a good man would know what a good man should look like and the qualities of a good man. And like Kay said, they act different around each other. So I feel like men will be able to spot the cracks and stuff with other men. So I agree.
Okay, all right, Ben Dizzle, what says you, man? Do you think men should vet other men for the women in their life?
Yeah, I definitely agree. But I think that's the point of when they bring them to family functions and birthday parties or barbecue, saying stuff like that. Just and then later on they go, oh, so what do you think about him? Da, 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 da. And then the men give their opinion.
Hmm. Okay, all right, bet that then. All right, I guess that's the end of the show, man. I'm pretty sure everybody got something to do, head out and whatever. So I don't want to keep y'all any longer. Is there anybody else that can stay longer?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 I'm
I'm
with it.
good.
It's
Oh
whatever.
man, y'all ain't, y'all ain't got to. Y'all else, oh, you called my bluff. I see. Okay. Well, shit. Um, there was something that you said, Kay. You said yes to something. I forgot what it was. Well, let me see if I got another video. I think that was on my videos, but I'll check and see if I got another one here. I think this lady was kind of rambling, but we'll see what she's talking about.
These men love to use, well, women in those countries are more feminine. The reason why women in those countries are more feminine because the men in those countries are more masculine. Women adapt to their environment. Women are responsive to men. You don't like how women are acting, I guarantee you it's their response to how the men are acting. That's how the masculine feminine works. That's polarity right there. The feminine is like the flower. The masculine is like the gardener. If the gardener wants a flower to bloom and open, to be in its full feminine expression, then the gardener has to create a safe environment for that flower to flourish. If the gardener creates a toxic environment, not only is the flower not going to bloom, but he's probably going to get a whole lot of angry weeds that decide that they're going to come in and destroy everything. If you get a whole bunch of angry women that hate men, it's a result of the gardener not actually creating a safe, nurturing environment for the feminine to flourish. And love to.
All right, so what I heard the lady say is that men are responsible for women's femininity. Um, do you agree with that, Dizzle?
Uh, I believe we're kind of responsible for when we're in a relationship to help her help her bring it more out of her. But as far as just having it before, no, I don't think so.
Okay, Queen D, do you think women are men are responsible for women's femininity?
Um, we kind of touched on that on Queen of Spades, but I don't feel like men are responsible for activating a woman's femininity, but I do feel like they can make it easier for it to be activated
Mm-hmm.
because a woman's feminine energy is heightened when we are respected and we feel protected and loved. So I just feel like the men can create a safe place for it to be activated, but we are responsible for the femininity itself.
Oh, okay. Well said. Well said. Goose the Prophet, man. Do you think men are responsible for women's femininity?
I feel like, um I think that in a sense, you can be the ultimate answer is no, and the reason why is because you can get with the damaged woman, right? let's say this woman is damaged, she's been through some traumatic experiences, you know. Now, as a man, if you're a exceptional leader, you can guide this woman towards her femininity and get her to be feminine, um, you know, and guide her towards healing and things like that. But it will take a great deal of patience in order to do that, and that's not fair to the man. You know, I think that's unfair. If it's almost like you got a razor, you know what I'm saying, or re-razor, you know what I mean, untrain and retrain. And as adults, I don't feel like we should have to do that for one another in that extreme. So uh can it be done? What she's saying is somewhat true. Yes, a man can make a woman um you know fall in line, or you know what I'm saying, be feminine by him being masculine, him being patient, him being a leader, him being understanding, you know what I mean? But should he have to? The answer is no.
Okay. And Kay, what says you are I just want to let y'all know the last segment that we talked about cleared out my everybody on my site. It literally dropped down to zero on the men vetting for women. Just wanted to congratulate you guys on that one. Because we talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about around here.
Hey, Vanessa.
No sensitive people allowed. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Vanessa.
What up, Vanessa? What up? That might be the only person that came back.
What's up, sis?
I came through. Everybody else left. Some people can't handle the conversation. It's all gravy. But yes, do you think that men control women's femininity?
I don't think that men control the femininity. I think it's the men's responsibility to maintain whatever femininity that their woman is displaying within that relationship.
Okay. Okay. And Steve G, do you think men are responsible for women's femininity? She had to say,
I
hey, y'all again.
don't think so. I don't think so. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay. And the thing is that I also noticed that she was talking about other places and how, they treat women differently. Could it be because their women are differently, or moved differently? So they're treated differently. What do you think, Steve?
Repeat the question. My bad.
Yes, the lady was talking about how in other countries, their men treat women better. And I was saying that could it be a possibility is because their women move differently, so they get treated differently.
I could see that. I could see that, especially here in the West. You know what I'm saying? In the United States, so to speak, because of the feminists or feminism. You know what I'm saying? Femininity or feminism or whatever. Sometimes, most of the time, it turns a man off. They don't want that shit around them. You know what I'm saying? And that's why what we was talking about the other day. You know what I'm saying? When you know what I'm saying, you wonder why she. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, like my homegirl, why she was by herself for so long. That's why she was too strong. You know what I'm saying? And not saying too strong in a bad way, but she came off the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? She poked her chest out like a man, or taking on, trying to take on everything like a man when, most of the time she couldn't handle it. You know what I'm saying? Change the brakes, change the oil, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think that.
I bet. Kay, same question to you. She was talking about how men treat women a lot better in other places. Could it be because the women act different in those places? Because we're talking about places that are overseas where they don't do the things that Western women do.
I mean, I think it's because men have zero tolerance of, women being aggressive over there. And then in a lot of instances, uh, they are more family oriented, so their parents pretty much, groom them to be wives. So, they're playing a white. They're more likely to play a white role than we would over here in the western. Over here in the west. So
Hello?
Hey, E, you muted.
I know I can't hear nothing. Is
I
anybody
am so
speaking?
sorry. I am so sorry. Yes, I was muted. Thank you for that, Steve. Um, do you think, Prophet, that it could be? She was talking about how women are treated differently in different countries. Do you think it could be the one possibility could be because they move differently?
Yeah, I think that that it's a cultural difference. I think women over there are not allowed to. It can cost them their life. You know, a lot of women that try to be westernized over there end up dead. And I'm not trying to promote that in no form or fashion. I'm just saying, like, they're really not allowed. That is so frowned upon that you could probably come up missing for something like that. You know what I mean? So they kind of stay in that role. Also, I feel like that when those men over there, it's kind of like how Queen D was saying about the Adam and Eve. Instead of being persuaded or what I'm saying, wavering, you know what I mean, to what hearkening to your wife's voice, you know what I'm saying? I think those men over there just not going for it in no form of fashion, you know what I'm saying? And never allowed it. They probably never had a feminist movement or anything like that per, what I'm saying, their culture, you know what I'm saying? But I think that if our men, then again, nah, you know. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think that it definitely plays a factor, but I think it's more so a cultural thing uh that's going on in the other countries. It's more so culture.
All right. Yeah. So that I think, yeah. I definitely agree with that. Um, D, were you able to see the last video played? All right. Maybe he's not there. All right, Queen D, I'm gonna go ahead and skip to you. Where she was talking about how men treat women differently in in different countries. Do you think that is because women move and act differently in those different countries?
Yes, I do agree, and I agree with the panel. I also feel like some of it stems from tradition and culture, like Gooch said. Like a lot of mothers, like being a wife and a mother is the most important thing you can be in those cultures. And the mothers are always asking, when you going to get married, when you going to give me some grandkids, stuff like that. So I feel like they're taught to be a certain way and live in that femininity.
All right, I definitely agree with that. Uh, and Dizzle, man, and we're gonna finish off this last question with you. Um, do you think, based off what she was saying, as far as women being treated differently in other countries, do you think that it has to do with the women moving differently in those countries compared to how our modern women move in America?
Yeah, I think women would. I think women in those other countries, they rely more on a lot on tradition, so they whatever whatever whatever's going on in their in their country, like how in some countries it's tradition for the father to pick the husband, you know and then And so I just think they rely a lot more on tradition than we do over here.
All right, well said, well said. All right, well that is going to be the end of the podcast. Thank you so much, Dizzle, for coming through. Queen D, Goose the Prophet, KML, Steve G, and D. He came in, but for some reason it was not working. And then thank you everybody else who was in the comments as well. This was fun. It was fun. Got a little different opinions and different views. What y'all think about this?
Yep.
I thought it was great. Hopefully it can be healing to some people, but I think that to be honest with you, I think that Hashatan has got his paws knee deep in the Western culture. We're almost taught to live a blasphemous way of life, or if you're not a religious person, a way against nature. We're actually, this westernized culture is designed on going against your nature and the nature of the planet, and that's the reason why we're uh, in a state of chaos right now.
All right, then. All right, so that's the end of the show, man. Thank you for that, Prophet. I guess we'll see if we can do this again, man. Until next time, man. Y'all take it easy. Peace out.